What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Core Boy, back at it again today with a new fucking video. Of course, we're here playing Halo, talking Halo. Today, I have a little bit of a special video, something that I don't typically do too often, except a couple weeks ago when I did that video talking about how to use the AR in Halo Infinite. Yet again, this is going to be a video kind of talking about similar things in that nature. To the high-ranking players, the people who play this game every single day, I would like for you to know, this video isn't particularly geared at you, but it can possibly help, so, try to get my viewpoint and everything. Listen, I know y'all may hate me for trying to give advice, but, listen, I'm just trying to help new players. And, well, as someone who's been playing Halo for, a pretty damn long time, goddamn, I missed, like, half of those shots. That was embarrassing. Probably doesn't help my, talk about today, but hey, it's cool. What the fuck is this Tron-looking-ass player doing? I'm kind of here for it. It's actually kind of a cool setup. Even though I'm not a fan of EVA, pretty sick. I'm actually kind of here for that setup. It looks kind of cool. But anyway, today, we're kind of talking on the back end of my video that I mentioned yesterday, because I had some people comment on it, kind of talking about the whole thing that I had pointed out, which is, since this new network update has came out, it feels like SBMMM is much stronger than really it ever has been in Infinite. And it seems like a lot of people have been kind of struggling getting used to that and everything. And I get it, because guess what? I've been struggling too. I've been trying to figure out my playstyle around it, because, well, the higher rankings you're getting, the more you're going to have to kind of switch up your own playstyle. And, someone who's been playing Halo a certain way for a number of years at this point, probably way too fucking long, honestly. I've kind of had to switch up how I'm playing the game and how I approach certain gunfights and situations within the game. This lobby is actually kind of extremely easy. I'm going to be banking a lot of kills off of this, so I'm all here for it. Even though it started out a little bit rough, I'm actually kind of making it back. Got him. Let me go ahead and pick up this BR because I was already low on ammo. I'm going to go ahead and get away from that fight because, Alright. Where the fuck did he go? Did he go up this hallway? Oh, no, they're on the bottom end of the map. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw a grenade down there, try to get this guy popped off if I can. Just go ahead and get him out of this area because we don't need that. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, here we go. What I'm going to do is, instead of doing the typical thing I do, which would be hit that teleporter, I'm going to do this. Kind of try to float back up out of this area. Go ahead and pop out of here because fuck that. Bad fight overall. Don't want to take it. I'm going to pick up this shotgun. But yeah, today we're kind of going to be talking about overall things for new players and things that they should do hopping into Halo Infinite for the first time. Because, let's be real, Halo has kind of been on a bit of a rise here recently, which I'm honestly all here for. I love the fact that the game is coming back into the limelight the way that it should be. And a lot of new players, people who have never played Halo before, are hopping into this game for the first time to experience Halo in its true glory and its undenying awesomeness. And, honestly, all I have to say is this. First of all, welcome to the Halo community if you're here to stay. I actually love that you were here to stay. If you are, if you aren't, hey, that's okay too. Oh boy. Got his ass out of there. Love the fucking grapple plays that you can pull on this map because it is so damn fun. Nope. You ain't getting up there that quickly. Oh god. What happened? Oh, gravity hammer. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of things changing in Halo. There's a lot of new people coming in who have never played it once before, and, I'm just here to give some guidance and assistance. Coulter, can you please stop, you little stinky dog? Hi, buddy. How are you? Okay, go on, I guess. It's squeaky door time. Y'all ready? Yeah, there we go. Squeaky door. We absolutely love to hear it. But yeah, there's a lot of things changing in Halo. There's a lot of, with the new update and everything coming into that, it seems like a lot of people are getting lobbies that are more geared towards their ranking and their MMR when it comes to multiplayer overall. Compared to how it used to be, which is a lot more randomized, which, trust me, I do personally like a lot more. I think it allows for a lot more engagement with players, and kind of overall gives a more positive multiplayer experience. But yet again, most games aren't doing that these days, and you kind of just have to find your own playstyle around it, depending on how good you were looking to get at the game. If you're not looking to, get better at the game, if you're looking just to play super casually, guess what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just continue doing what you're doing and do it great. But my biggest thing that I would like to tell most people is one thing. It's just it's pretty simple. I'm kind of surprised I might even have to go over this, but it seems like a lot of people don't understand it. And I've run into lobbies where this seems to be a consistent issue that people are facing and kind of doing. My biggest thing that I want to talk about today, though, is getting good with every weapon in Halo. Now, a big thing in Halo is power weapons. Do not get me wrong. That is the biggest point of Halo is getting power weapons and learning to fight based around them. But people also need to understand that you aren't going to have a power weapon most of the fucking game. You're not going to have it as often as you're going to have a weapon like the battle rifle, the assault rifle, the sidekick, commando, bandit, any of those weapons. You're just going to be using those much more often than you are going to be using the main power weapons, which are like the sniper rifle, the rocket launcher, the cinder shot, gravity hammer, energy sword, and all of those. So you kind of have to figure out how to go with these and figure out your own play styles around them, because that's the main things you're going to be using. And I run into so many players where they're really good with the power weapons, but as soon as they pick up like the AR, the battle rifle, the bandit, any of those weapons, they tend to struggle and lose a lot more of their gunfights. My biggest thing I recommend is getting familiar with those guns. Figure out how each one of them plays, figure out how they go into your playstyle, and actually obtain them and get good with them. Don't just focus on getting a rocket launcher once a game over focusing on picking up a weapon like the bandit or the BR and figuring out how to maneuver with it, because you're going to be seeing those weapons much more common, and those are actually going to be the huge things that come into your games and winning your gunfights that you're going to be getting into within the game. So trust me, getting good with those weapons is a huge thing, and it's something that most people need to do, but I see a lot of people lacking in it. Now, like I said, I did a whole video talking about the AR and kind of ways for new players to pick up and get good with it whenever it's their first couple of times using it. My biggest thing with the AR that I definitely recommend is using it as a burst weapon to understand the recoil pattern, because the weapon does have a pretty different recoil pattern compared to a lot of weapons, because it has a very sustainable full auto mode. But once you kind of pick up on that and you figure out how the recoil pattern works, how the gun bounces around a little bit, where your bullets are going, you can definitely start using it more in its full auto form and kind of getting good with it compared to using it as just a burst weapon. Now, my next thing I also would recommend is, for one, fucking with your sensitivity. That is a huge thing, and something that I've actually had to relearn myself recently. If you guys don't know, most of my time that I've spent playing games, I've always been a pretty high-sense player. So, for me, switching up my sensitivity is something I've never really done much, but I've realized now more than ever, really, that sensitivity is a huge key in Halo, and keeping up with shots, being able to lead shots, and also being able to maintain a target on a player. Because a big thing in Halo is being able to hit all of your shots because of the health pool within Halo. It's such a different thing compared to a lot of games, and it's kind of something you just kind of have to get good with and kind of get used to. I should not have went for the shotgun kill there, and he's going to hit with a grav hammer. Bye, buddy. Rest in peace. But yeah, that's something that a lot of people need to get used to, is trying to figure out ways to lead up your shots. And now, if you guys don't know, I play, I don't know the exact DPS, but I scale mine down. I think it's to 2.0. Actually, we can go right over here to my keyboard and mouse settings, and we can see right here. So now, actually take it down. So my overall sensitivity is a 2.0. I keep these at 1.2, 1.2 to scale it. And then all of my zoom settings are set to 0.6. It makes it a little bit slower, but you aren't really needing to zoom in on close-range fights. Really, the only time you're needing to zoom in is when you're taking those far-range fights, whenever there's somebody quite a distance away, and you need to actually lead up those shots. And that's really when I recommend zooming in this game. I don't recommend doing it at all at close range, and it's something that I've kind of had to relearn myself due to how hefty ADSing is on other games compared to Halo. But Halo's one of those games where you're really not needing to do that unless they are pretty damn far away from you. So, you know, that's something that I think a lot of people need to start taking into consideration as well, because, well, it's kind of new to Halo. A lot of classic players aren't going to have that issue. They're going to be like, well, I've never really used ADS anyway because I'm so used to playing classic Halo. And guess what? That's where a lot of us come from, but there's a lot of new players who kind of haven't gripped that yet. And I know a lot of people are doing it, especially when you all are using the Bandit Evo, the Battle Rifle, or the Commando. I'm like, why the fuck are you ADSing at me right now? I'm pretty fucking close to you, and I'm going to win this fight now because you're spending too much time in that site where you don't have the maneuverability that I do to get around your shots and to kind of lead you out of the way like I need to. Also, right there's another example of somebody who was popping off with a gravity hammer, and now that they have regular weapons, they're not doing so hot. Fuck, I hit the fucking big thing, damn it. Of course, gravity hammer. That's the weapon of choice for 99% of players. But yeah, I think that's something that most people need to get underway, is to figure out how to get good with their main loadout. For me personally, I'm a big BR user, so anytime I see it on the map, I'm usually picking up the BR to use it because it's my favorite non-power weapon. I'm a big fan of the BR, have been since Halo 2, and I don't think it's ever going to fucking change. The BR is just a powerhouse of a weapon. It's so fucking versatile. There's a lot that you can do with it, a lot of ways you can use it and get good with it, and it's definitely one of those weapons that I know that there's a lot of haters of because it's such a powerful weapon in the game. Oh, can we lead it into a quad? Can we lead it into a quad? Nope, we cannot, because I fucking suck at the game. If I was able to get one, I was going to be really happy. I also hit a crazy clip earlier, which I'm going to show in this video at the end of it, so be ready for that. I got hit a crazy fucking hard light, or what, a heat wave clip. I don't know why I said hard light. That's a Destiny weapon, not Halo. And God, I haven't played Destiny in so long. I'm surprised I even remember that one, because I rarely ever fucking use it, because it, well, it's kind of meh. Get out of here. Where you at? Get back over here. Thanks, buddy. Bye. Let's go ahead and lead back into here with this. I'm going to go back up with my BR. But yeah, a big thing that I recommend for a lot of people is understanding every single weapon, understanding where its weaknesses and its, like, highlights are, honestly. I think that's the best way to put it. Because every weapon kind of has that in this game. It has its high and its weak point and when you should and should not use it. At close range, I really do recommend using the AR. I think it's a perfect close range weapon. But it can also be really good at medium ranges. And for the BR, it's kind of its opposite. It's good at long and medium. And at short range, you can use it. If you have it, it's pretty damn good. It's going to suffice. But it's going to really, really highlight at those long range and medium range fights. I think that's really where you're going to start seeing a lot of its highlights come into play. Another thing I recommend for a lot of people is actually giving a weapon a shot that a lot of people I feel like have been hating on for a long damn time. It's recently got buffed, and it is a absolute fucking powerhouse. And we're going to pull it up right here. It is this, baby. It is the fucking Commando. This weapon is an absolute slayer, and if you can learn its bloom pattern and all that, trust me, you are going to be slaying out with this weapon. Trust me, pick it up, give it a shot. You are going to absolutely love it if you get good with it. And the haters of it, I'm just going to say it how it is. Most of you hate it because you're not good with it. And guess what? That's okay, buddy. There's nothing wrong with that. But listen, you get good at the damn thing, and you're going to fucking love it. Also, do you guys prefer your Commando with or without veins? I personally like the veins. It really does vibe out a lot with me. And, you know, this fucking whole setup is sick as fuck. And if you haven't got it, you know, if you do like the Commando, I kind of recommend getting it. It's pretty sick. But yeah, overall, I really do recommend getting good with those weapons and actually learning how they play in each game. Weapons like the plasma pistol, the pulse carbine, if you want to get good with that. I think there's weapons that counter it very easily. The disruptor, shock rifle, stalker, BR, DMR, or that's the bandit, the Commando, and all of those weapons in between there. Instead of just the main power weapons that spawn on the map, try to get good with them, try to learn how to use them, and learn how to physically put them into your playstyle and actually maintain them. It's super easy. It's something that I've just, you know, you kind of just learn naturally. As you pick them up and use them, you're going to get better. And I'd like to also set this as a reminder, is there are literal modes in custom games that you can boot up that are helping with aim training. And I do recommend using those to your availability whenever you can, to maybe like hop in, get a quick little 10-minute warm-up in to figure out your shot and to kind of use those weapons to their biggest like viability. It'll teach you kind of a little bit around with their recoil pattern and all of that, and it really does help a lot. I do highly recommend trying those out, giving them a shot, and of course just getting better overall. Now when it comes to other things besides that, the biggest thing for me in Halo Infinite, something that I've talked about actually quite a bit, is movement style. There's a lot of different little movement tricks. You know, there's like the little slide boost, which honestly I'm not even perfect at. I kind of honestly struggle with them more than anything in the game currently, and I'm, you know, trying to get it better at them. I'm really trying my best, but it's something that I'm not used to necessarily yet. But you can always use those. The little boost slides, of course, knock you a little bit further than the normal boost. It can help you with maneuverability and all of that in between. So I do highly recommend getting good with that if you can. But also just learning how to use your boost and your sprint and everything correctly to disengage and to engage fights. Right there, you guys probably see me fail a little bit with the bandit. Probably should have pulled off the AR right there, but hey, you know, still got the win, still got the kills in. And, you know, like, that is just overall, I think, something that a lot of people need to get good with in this game and kind of understand and use it to its, honestly, its advantage. It helps a lot with breaking sight lines and getting out of fights and re-engaging fights and all of that nonsense, which really is a huge thing in Halo, because if you take damage, you're going to want to re-engage a fight at a later point, or try to outmaneuver them and engage in that gunfight once more. Like, even right there, you guys can see that I barely took any damage in that fight because of really just how I'm maneuvering the fight. I'm kind of trying to break out his sight line and try to get him off of me while I'm also maintaining my shots onto him, which honestly really does help. Like I said, with a lower sensitivity, you can kind of maintain those follow-up shots a lot easier and really get back onto them really with no issue at all. You're going to just be hitting your shots. You're going to be absolutely dominating in the actual gunfights of the game. And then, you know, if you're taking a lot of damage, you're going to need to learn how to kind of reposition. Like right there, I don't have a lot of repositioning areas where I can actually break that. Something I honestly probably could have ran back on that corner, got up on that too, and maybe try to re-engage and jump off of there to kind of lead his shot away from me. But it is understanding surroundings as well. And trust me, you're not going to be successful 100% of the time. You're going to have times where you fail in your gunfights, and that's okay. But figuring out when you can succeed in gunfights and everything is a huge aspect of Halo. You have to figure that out. That is a big thing. Depending on the mode you're playing, of course. Now, if it's coming down to something you're playing like a lot of SWAT, then you're mostly just focused on where you're hitting your shots, where are you leading them up to, how are you tracking players down to actually hit those. it's, you know, just something that you kind of have to get used to. And yet again, it takes just time and patience, but I'm trying to overall give tips that could help. Lowering your sensitivity on controller, maybe fucking with a little bit of your button layouts, or even mouse and keyboard fucking with your button layouts a little bit. I mess with mine constantly, trying to figure out the most resourceful and best way to, you know, maintain my play style. You know, I'm an M&K player, which isn't the most common thing on Halo, but it is becoming more and more prominent as time goes. And honestly, I'm all here for it. I absolutely love to see that mouse and keyboard players are kind of starting to come into the Halo world and show that, hey, we can still do this, brother. We don't need a controller all the fucking time. Because at roots, Halo is a controller game. Like, it is just maintained and built for controller play. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The controller players are fine, but if you're up and into mouse and keyboard and you haven't done it yet, trust me, it's going to take some getting used to, buddy. That is the biggest thing with it, is it's going to take you some getting used to really hone in on that M&K play style. For me personally, I use WASD. I keep my sprint locked to my shift key on the left-hand side of my keyboard. But then I also bind my melee and my slide buttons to my 2 mouse buttons as well. So I use up for melee and down for sliding. And to me personally, that just flows the best for me. It feels really good, and that's how I prefer. And it just keeps things very minimized and easy. It keeps everything in one kind of complete area and really allows me to kind of negate needing to move my hand a lot. Of course, then I bind my main like character abilities over to my caps lock, my grenades to my F key, switching grenades is V, tag is X, and then also if I'm needing to scout the map to figure out where weapon spawns are for new maps whenever they drop, I combine that to Z. It just allows me to have a full scope in this main area of my keyboard, but also maintaining my movement and stuff in this area with my mouse. So finding ways to kind of negate needing to do large hand movements is a very big thing in Halo. Really, it is with any FPS, but I'm mostly pointing out because I know there's not a lot of M&K players. Now, overall, I don't know what the controller settings are for this game. I really don't. I don't play controller, like I said. So if you can definitely find some tips on that, I would definitely recommend it if it will help you out. Go ahead and do that. Go find you some tips. Go find a good YouTuber to watch who plays a controller and, figure out what they're doing. Or, honestly, you could even look at pro plays and stuff like that and figure out, like, okay, well, what are they using? Oh, they are all in that area. That is probably got a lot of damage out there, but nothing else. But, yeah, picking out on that, figuring out what other people are playing as, and just kind of learning from that point, I think can really help out a lot of players. And, you know, just figure out what works for you, what doesn't, and kind of go from there. No, I'm not wanting your fucking grenade fire. Stop trying to spam them. Also, that is another thing, is learning how to use grenades and use them effectively. A lot of people in Halo like to absolutely spam the shit out of grenades. If you can find ways to maneuver around their grenades, guess what? Do that. And if you can't, well, you better figure it out, buddy, because you're going to be getting hit by them a lot. Just kind of be ready for that. Wow, my sniper shot was so not on right there. I haven't sniped in the last couple of games. My shot's a little bit wacky, but hey, it's cool. We're going to get it back on there. But yeah, overall, there's a lot that you can do to improve your gameplay, and if you can, you know, listen in and do that, I really do recommend it. You can, you know, if you want to see somebody who's a above average Halo player, I'm not going to consider myself pro, because I'm definitely not. I'm just here to help a variety of people, and people who may have not, you know, used these tips or anything, even though they're pretty basic. It's just things that can overall help you quite a bit, and especially with this new update where you're going to be getting put against people who are in your class range a lot more often, it can definitely be a big change. And I definitely do recommend it as a whole to, you know, get better at the game and to maintain a structure in your playstyle and kind of lead away from a lot of the issues that a lot of people seem to be facing of, goddamn, I'm not used to playing against these people in my skill level. I need to switch this up. Because trust me, I've had to do it quite a bit myself since this update has dropped just a couple of days ago. And it's been a big change for me. It's been something that I've never really been used to, so... Oh my god, get out of my way. Whoop, get that sniper off the map if I can. Fuck, I was trying to, but it did not work in my favor, I guess. But overall, if you guys can, take in these tips. Try them out. Let me know how you feel. Let me know some down below as well. I always like to hear what people are doing to try to improve their gameplay. Tomorrow we have a whole video coming out. I think it's going to be mostly diving into SBMM and how it affects things at a social level for games, and also a overall game experience. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. But today I just wanted to talk about some tips to maybe help out players who were just now hopping in, people who were experienced these, you know, these big SBMM changes, because trust me, I know they're fucking huge. I know they are hard to get used to. Oh, I'm going to get hit with a rocket launcher. I fucking knew it. But guys, other than that, I'm going to hop out of here for the day. I love you all. I will catch you all later. Of course, as always, come check out the streams. They're linked down below. I'm going to be live tonight. Come check it out. Come have some fun with us. And, yeah. Later, dudes.